Well, if this view looks familiar, it's probably because you're one of my subscribers. My pickup truck, I took it in to get the front end aligned, and they discovered, which I still don't see it, but they discovered the steering rod. I forget what you call it. Anyway, this is worn out. The steering arm. Again, no way to grease it. So they said the outside one's worn out. They showed me they took a pair of pliers and could squeeze it up and down. I could move it a little bit. It probably is worn out. Well, it couldn't be. So they couldn't align it. So I'm going to go ahead and jerk that off of there and replace both ends. I'm not going to mess around and wait. Hopefully I can get some that I can grease and I won't have to do this ever again. Pretty soon there's going to be a new truck. Ford, fix or replace daily, they used to say when I was a kid. So I'm going to do that, and I'm also going to pull one of those shocks off and going to take one in with me and get me a new set of shocks on the front. Okay, just for my own memory, the short one is on the out, just so I remember. Short one is out. It looks like it's right hand thread, and that one looks like it's left hand thread. Made different sizes. You know, I'd rather not take it off, but quick power. Oh, that goes in too easily. Shit! This way, I was able to make a space enough to pull it out of there. But I had to do a lot of beating. I had to beat on this, and I had to, after I got this really tight in there, then I whacked that. Now for the shocks. I'm going to pull one of these shocks and take it with me so they give me the right one. I've already lubed this nut right here. See that nut? That's going to have to come off of there. It's underneath. It's held on with those two nuts. Boy, there's not much thread showing. I don't know what's going to happen. So anyway, I got to take those off. Wish me luck. Well, underneath here, I have to put a wrench to hold the stems solid. I can break that nut loose. And, unless you got something to prove to somebody, don't hesitate to use a big long pipe on your tools. Save your elbows, the joints. Amazing how much easier it is. There's a surprise. I twisted that right off the top. Yikes. I knew it was turning hard. It got stuck and just twisted off. It's a new brake, so I mean it wasn't broken before. Okay, I got the left shock off. You knew I broke off the end. These bolts, I saved the nuts that hold this up. And I'm going to see if I can get this whole thing rather than just the two ends. See how much that costs. And see if I can get these greasable. So we can grease these. And sooner or later, my truck will be greasable. I guess it's my parts. And the ends are made differently. So what I need to do is measure to the center of these to see exactly how far apart they are. And this one has a center point I can get pretty darn close. This, well, that one does too. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark it and I'm going to try to measure it best I can to get that exactly right. I can't measure just to the head because the heads are different sizes. See what I mean? Okay, got it. Okay, so this is the way it's going to go in. Got my grease zerks back in here. And so what I'm going to do, putting them on is a lot easier than taking them off, I have to say. Alright, I got the right side of the truck finished. New tie rod ends on. This end, tie rod ends look fine. I'm going to go ahead and put a new shock on it. You can see I've got the jack drop down. I mean the shock just dropped down, but you can't get it out. This is where another jack comes in handy. I've got my truck sitting on blocks. I've got that big jack as a safety, just in case. And now, I'll take this little bitty, lightweight jack and jack up the spring. All I'm going to be doing is putting force on the spring. I'm going to compress that spring with this jack, and that'll give you enough room, hopefully, to get that shock out of there. The springs are strong, man. Well, let's see if I can do it. Wow. Well, I took my truck out for test drive, and I'm very pleased. It's a smoother ride, and my steering wheel is perfectly straight, no wobble, no shake. I can steer it, let go, goes right in the direction I'm pointing it. I like it. So here's the parts that I put on it. All of them came from O'Reilly Auto Parts. Those are the parts I replaced. Money well spent. It's about 130 bucks. A little bit of work. That's the inner tie rod end, outer tie rod end. Shocks are both the same.